Welcome to another edition of DehYahSpora. This week I'm joined as always by my two co-hosts, Sonia and Trevor, but it's always ladies before gentlemen. So Sonia, I must check in. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Nice weather, everything's grand. How about you?
Good stuff. I'm well. No, I'm well. I'm enjoying the sunshine. I'm not even going to complain about it. I'm gonna bask in the sunlight because this is England, right? Good to see you, though. Good to see you. And Trevor, how you doing, good sir? How are you?
I'm well. I'm going to be getting my microphone. Here we go. Yeah, I'm well, thank you. Good to see you, Sonia. I know you've been away, so it's good to see you back safe and sound. Yeah, looking forward to today's topic. I believe it's a light-hearted one. So let's get stuck in, shall we? Yeah, looking forward to it, Huey.
Let's get stuck in. We went a bit heavy last time, so we wanna take you down memory lane, but like some maybe some nostalgic memories. So we got a few items that are gonna come up on screen, and we're gonna see what memories they trigger in us.
I wonder what
So
there will be.
question
Let's see. Okay.
Ooh, okay. Who wants to go first? What is
Well, I
that?
I, I, I I can relate
Over.
to the paraffin heater. I think that's the first one on the left-hand side. We've lost the pictures. 1 second, they'll come back, I'm sure. Um, but I believe the first picture is of a paraffin heater. Um, and if I'm
Yep,
right,
yep, yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't, I don't remember. I'm not so much in line with the outside toilets. I know we're going to come on to that one shortly. But the paraffin heater, I remember those from going to church every Saturday. I was there all day Saturday and Sunday evenings. And in the winter, these paraffin heaters were God sent. So yeah, I do remember them. They give off a little smell when they're burning, um, but very powerful. They do the job. I'll give them that.
They trigger any memories, Sonia?
Well, while Sonny's coming back to us, yeah, I do remember going to church when I was younger, Huey, many years ago.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'll say I was there all day Saturday. It was the Seventh Day Adventist, Seventh Day Mount Zion Adventist Church. And as I say, in the winter, we used to have some nickel heaters inbuilt into the. It was an old structure, so we needed these
Mm-hmm.
paraffin heaters. And the Deacon Scarlett, was responsible for filling them up on the Friday to make sure that on the Saturday we were good to go. So I do remember those paraffin heaters.
Yeah.
Bring
Sonia,
back memories.
um, Sonia, bring back any memories?
Yes, yeah, sorry about
Trevor,
that.
Trevor just got his
Technical
Trevor.
problems.
He latched into the paraffin heater. How about yourself? What do you remember from those days and those items, should I
I
say?
remember the structure. Yeah, I remember the structure of the toilet. Outside because it was obviously outside in one of my nan and grad's house, but the heater. I remember actually the gas being delivered to our house and actually purchasing it with my grandparents. So I do remember that, and the smell was horrendous.
Mm.
If I remember rightly, I think they used to call the man who'd come around oily, or there was even some corner shops that did. You might have to go and walk and carry that gigantic bottle to go and purchase the paraffin. Paraffin is so strong smelling. If you spill that or anything like that, it just light up the place. Metaphorically speaking, as in like the smell. But I do remember that. I think you mentioned Trevor that they should drop something in it after a while. There was a product that came that said, if you add this little thing, it would take away some of the smell or some of the soot or whatever it was that used to come with as well. I remember that.
Yeah. I don't remember that, but if I'm sure if they did invent it, it would have been very popular because, as Sonia said, it used to have an after smell, didn't it, when it was burning? So that would have been
Yeah.
helpful. Yeah. Now I was too young for the
Before the
outdoor.
days of before the days of central heating, right? Before the days
Yes,
of central heating.
yes. I don't remember. I'm definitely too young, I think, or for the outside toilet. I am. I can definitely say that when I was growing up, the toilet was inside, um, and I don't recall that the outdoor. I heard many stories about it, and I've
Yeah.
interviewed quite a few of the elders um, who recall the outside toilets and how. Yeah. But
Now
funnily enough,
I lived that. I lived that, man. I lived that
yeah.
before my parents renovated the house and put central heating in and put inside toilet and all the different fancy things that they did. God bless them, right?
Mm.
Initially, as a really young child, primary school age, infant school age, I remember having to go outside in the dark when it's like 6 o'clock in the evening, but you're a kid, so 6 o'clock in the evening, it might as well be 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. And it's like, you didn't want to go by yourself, but you had to
Mm.
suck it up and go out there in the dark to access the toilet. Or
Yeah.
on top of that, when it was freezing cold as well, it was an experience in and of itself. So yeah,
Mm.
never
Mm.
forget those days. Never forget those days.
I'm with you. I do. I remember some of the elders used to talk to me about the outside toilet, and actually, I can imagine many of them had outside toilets back in Jamaica before they came over and in the Caribbean. But it was the cold.
Mm,
It was the cold they
yeah,
didn't like. But that was really, really eye opener for them.
that's true,
The
because
freezing
people
cold.
talk about pit toilets, innit? They used to talk about the pit toilet
Mm,
outside in Jamaica, but
mm, mm,
not that
mm,
weather. The weather was different, so it was never an
mm.
issue. That was an issue.
On a side note that's similar was we used to have a coin meter for the electricity, and ours was in the cellar downstairs at the farthest corner of the cellar. And you had to go down there in the dark, and you were feeling your way through, putting your hands through cobwebs and coal and all sorts to get to this meter. So I do remember that. That was a thing I'll never forget when I was younger.
Petrified
That
of my
reminds
cellar.
me.
Mm-mm, mm.
That reminds me with the TV. Do you remember the coins of the TV
Yeah.
or the phone even? So
Mm,
yeah,
mm.
yeah,
I remember TV with meter in it because when color TVs first came out, they weren't everybody had a color TV. They were a little
Mm.
bit premium back in the day when
Yes.
yeah,
color
Yeah.
TV was a bit of an issue,
yeah,
and they were the size of a sound system speaker box, right? They were
Mm,
huge.
mm. Yeah. Yeah.
They had, but yeah, some of them had that thing on the side that you could be watching your favorite film and they just just switch
yeah,
off. Yeah,
Switch
man.
off.
yeah.
Whose turn is
Yeah,
it? Whose turn is it? It's not my turn. It's your turn. You've got to go
exactly.
down the cellar. Yeah. 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 Good old days. Good old days. Yeah.
Wow. You were saying that in the past, Trevor, that we had some of the things that we had to endure, right?
Mm,
When we
mm,
first came
mm.
our families first came to this country. What we got here, we got two products, two food
Yep.
products, milk and magnesia.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, see,
I
I don't
recall
remember
that.
any of these. I do. I
Now,
do
milk and
remember the.
magnesia, I recall.
Yeah.
I recall
Yeah.
milk and magnesia. How about yourself, Sonia? I know that for me, I remember it. It's basically like somebody put chalk in water and maybe dropped a little sugar in it. That's what it reminds. That's what comes to mind.
Well, what comes? I don't remember that, but I do remember my nan used to give me this fish stuff. It was like I don't even know. Obviously, I had cod liver oil like everybody else did back then,
Mm.
but she used to give me this. I don't know, this vitamin in this spoon, and it was like it smelt of fish. You wanted to vomit. And then she'll give us cod liver oil on top of that. So I don't know the milk of magnesium and how bad that tasted, but I do know what I was given as a young child with living with my grandparents.
Mm.
That's what I
Okay.
had.
There was another product on the side called Andrews, but that container there that was on display, that marketing looks like it was pre-war. It looks like it was
1840s,
before
isn't
the war. That looks
Yeah.
old. That looks old.
Yeah.
The one that
That's
I recall is the one they still use now. The color scheme white with blue writing, like a white background with a little bit of dark. I mean, a bit of navy blue. A little bit of navy
Yeah.
blue and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
I
yeah,
know that one. I know
um,
that one. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I'll tell you one thing. I can vouch. Product works.
Mm.
Upset stomach, minor food poisoning type symptoms, and you knock a glass of Andrews, and it will settle your stomach. It will settle your stomach. Good product.
Mm.
Good product.
Mm.
Yeah, good product.
Yeah. Good old days. Yes. The Andrews. Yes. It's interesting you
And
talk about
it's
these
still
things,
around.
how they were, yeah, and how they were in everybody's cupboards from the back home brought these things over with them, didn't they? And no matter which home you went to, you would find these things in the cupboard or on the side or somewhere like that. Mm.
Like, was it mandatory? Was there somebody keeping score? Like, why every Caribbean home seemed to have all
It seems like it.
the same
It seems,
products?
yeah, yeah. To be official, you need to have X, Y, and Z in your house. Otherwise,
All right, we got
questions are
some new
asked.
products on screen. Any memory?
Okay.
Any recalls coming up? Any recall? I can see a couple.
I know when Sonia saw these, she said, "Oh, so Sonia, what's your thoughts?"
Oh, I remember the plastic pineapple for sure. Put in like our fruits, or I think it also used to put like ice in there as well. But
Hmm.
that reminds me of the plastic flowers, which was a real big thing in Jamaica. But on my grandparents' house, they had plastic flowers, and I never quite understood that.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I mean, I don't know for yourselves, but we had like a living room that it was a bestie living room, so you couldn't just walk in there. As children, you had to ask permission, and there was like plastic over the sofas. There was plastic in the hallway floor. I remember that as well. So yeah, it was all about preserving what people had, and having a show of your stuff as well.
Yes, yes.
Definitely.
The protectors, the protectors. Yes. Um, remember the ones on the sleeve of the settee. So you had the arm protected, didn't you? You had the one behind
Yes,
your head
yeah.
for the grease. Yeah, everything was covered up. I do remember that. I do remember that. And my mum had. Did you have the plastic up the stairs as well? We had it
Oh
going up the
Yep.
stairs
yes.
as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
along the hallway,
yeah,
that
yeah,
plastic
yeah.
round that would be stapled or not stapled, but some sort of nail gun, but it was held in place, caused many accidents along the way as it got loose and stuff like that. I remember that.
And to be fair, when you hoovered and you moved it, I looked at the place that was covered and that wasn't. You could see it was doing a good job actually, but it's a pity it couldn't cover the whole carpet. But yes, remember weekend, Sunday, sweeping the passion stairs with the hand brush and shovel. Do you remember that, the hand brush and shovel, getting
Dustpan
down on your
and
knee,
brush. Dustpan
dustpan
and
and
brush.
brush,
One time. Yeah, man.
doing the stairs on a Sunday, moving the plastic, putting it back down again. Yeah, yeah, I remember those duties, remember those roles. Yeah, it was good old days,
Definitely.
good old days. Mm,
Definitely. When you mentioned about Sonia, you mentioned about the front room and not going in there often, or
Mm.
I think it reminded me of that kind of idea of the Sunday best, because when I think about my first front room in my house growing up as a child, we only went in there, or there was only life in there when it was visitors or at
mm,
Christmas.
Yes.
mm.
But
Yes.
like, weren't no just rocking up in there on a Tuesday afternoon for no reasonable reason and turning on the gram. Like that would be that would be more than a faux pas. That'd be blasphemy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
what possessed you to
no
go in
go.
there? Like, you don't go in there. You don't go in there. It's just immaculate, and that's it.
That's it.
I
No
think
go zones. No go zones
No
for the
yeah.
go.
young ones.
Yeah.
I
Mm,
think
mm.
some families used to lock that living room as well, so
Wow,
nobody could go in there.
wow. Wouldn't be surprised though. That doesn't surprise
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
That was yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And the cabinets in there, and your glass fish, and the picture on the walls. It was yeah. You could go to many
And
houses
there
and
was a
see
phone in there
same
that was
issue.
locked as well, because phones used to have phones used to have locks on them back in the day, and you had to do the code breaking thing to use the phone when your parents was out. Tap 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 to kind of like beat the
Wow.
system. You know, those were
Mm,
some of the
mm, mm.
tricks. Those were some of the
That's
tricks.
easy, Huey. Like that's good. That's good. We had those dialing ones,
Yeah.
and used to put the lock on a certain spot. So
Exactly,
you
exactly,
get so
exactly,
far.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The good old days. Yeah, 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 yeah.
But and the pineapple brings back fond memories. That was the fond memory of visitors being at the house, parents
Mm,
having
mm.
gatherings or whatever, and being told to go and get get more ice.
Yes,
Get more
yes,
ice. So you fill up the ice pineapple, bring it in the room, and then instead of leaving straight away, you kind of hang around hoping you could hear some kind of something adult, something that was interested before he was told to,
mm, mm.
young big people business, keep it moving, keep moving. And I was
Yes,
sent
yes.
in, ejected, ejected from the proceedings. But the hot comb, I'll be honest, I had a lot of my childhood. I had a skiffle. So I don't know if Sonia, I don't know if you can tell us something about the hot comb.
Oh my gosh, I can tell you loads of getting burnt by that hot comb. Trying to get every little sort of curl, trying to get as straight as possible, especially for your Sunday best, and being scared because you could feel the heat on your neck, around your ear. And the amount of times I got burnt on my ear on that hot comb, all lined up as female children waiting to get their hair done. So yeah, I can speak to that loads.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Carry on, Sonia,
And
because I've got no
did you used to have it
recollection
to
of
the
it.
side? Did you used to have your hair to the sides, Sonia, like you know that Shalimar look?
I did, but I mean, I used to have really thick, long hair back then as well. And yeah, the amount of times going right, down, 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 and then back up, oh, bang, burn your ear, burnt forehead here, yeah, but we just loved it though. I mean, we didn't like the process, of course, but we loved the fact that there we was with our hair that's all straight, ready to go to, Sunday best, to go to church, and looking our best in our clothes with all frills and stuff. Whether we were wearing blue or pink or whatever the case may be, it was all matching with white shoes and white socks with frills on them. So yeah, it was actually good memories. But that hot comb, woo!
Back
Yeah,
in the day.
never used it, but could definitely smell when somebody was using it. It would go through the whole house. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
when it was hot comb time. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Or you might even hear, if you're close enough, you might hear a little popping, a little sound that
yeah,
pops.
yeah, 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 yeah,
As
yeah.
it was fraying, it was doing its work.
Mm-mm. No, I always used to think, boy, it must be worth it because they're risking some serious injury using this thing. So, Sonia, what was it? What was the primary reason for it? Was it just to straighten your hair, or was there anything else that you used it for? Was it
Yeah, because back then
styling?
it was like, yeah, it was about having straight hair,
Mm,
not showing your kinkiness in your hair
mm,
like we
mm,
can now,
mm, mm,
And
mm,
so it's like, yeah, they just saw it as, putting your best foot forward, as in your presentation by having straight hair.
okay.
And easy to comb, of course, easy
Was it
to
easier to
to
plait as well?
plait, and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Mm, mm,
absolutely easy to plait. So yeah, it was. Like I said, I didn't like the burning, didn't like the smell of
hmm
it. You were, fearful. You knew that you
Keep
might get a
still.
bit of a
Keep still.
slap if you
Mm,
moved.
mm, mm,
If
mm,
you weren't
mm,
going to
mm,
get burnt, you're gonna bit of a slap for moving. And
mm,
I remember a couple of times being burnt and told, "See, you should have kept yourself still, quiet
mm,
yourself." So
mm, mm.
you kind of got that.
And how long did the how long did it last for when you did it? Was it did you get a good lifespan from it, or was it every week you had to go back and do it again?
No, mine used to last for about 2 weeks.
Hmm.
I think it depends, because if you're getting yourself wet, if your
I
hair
was about to
gets
say, you
wet, then
couldn't
it
go near
reverts back
water though, right?
quick.
You couldn't
Not
go near water, weren't it?
how many black children went into water? Listen,
Mm, mm, mm,
I
mm,
remember
mm,
going to school, and that was one of the things that I would get out of, because you didn't want to ruin your hair. But to be fair, my mum or my nan would ensure that my hair was plaited, and you would wear
mm.
the cap to try and prevent any water from going in. But yeah, yeah. And then obviously relaxers.
And there was
Yeah,
an
yeah.
If you
upgrade as
thought,
well with the blow dryer though. Wasn't there an upgrade of the hot comb kind of phased out because there was the like a hair dryer but with a comb attachment to it, so it could have the you could bush your hair
yeah,
out a bit as well.
that came later, but
Yeah,
actually there were
yeah.
some
That was what I'm saying. That
hairdressers.
was an upgrade in the '80s, right? That was the
Yeah,
upgrade in the '80s.
yeah, but there's still some hairdressers now that use a hot comb, by the way.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, to really try and get that hair really straight, bone straight.
Mm,
So yeah, I'm like, bring the kinkies back.
mm,
But
mm,
yeah,
mm, mm.
That's
So
yeah,
is it
it
better?
was.
Just a quick question, Sonia. Is it so we have the relaxing kits, don't you now? Well, not now. We've had them for a while, and
Yeah.
that was to straighten your hair. Also, did people as soon as they came out jump straight onto those because it was
Oh yeah.
there's no burning involved in that approach?
Oh, you say there was no
Mm,
burning, but that chemical, if it was left on for too long, and actually,
mm.
we pride ourselves with, if it's burn, it's working. And
Wow. Wow.
sometimes, that's why you've got some black females with alopecia,
Mm.
that
Shouldn't laugh. Shouldn't laugh.
constantly relaxed their hair and created damage. I mean, there's a
Mm,
salon called the
mm,
Healthy Hair Studio in London that does a lot of work with women that, has suffered from that because of lots of different things. But I mean, alopecia can happen for lots of reasons, not just for that. It could be for stress or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I had relaxers as a young child, but in adulthood, I opted out of that and would either plait my hair or have it out, or yeah, I kind of
mm,
opted out for that because I just didn't like, and the smell of that also wasn't nice either.
mm, mm, mm,
Um, but people
mm,
used it because the straightener lasted for longer and you would have it relaxed. I used to have it every 6 or 8 weeks. Some people used to
mm,
have it like sooner, that 4 weeks even. Like in those chemicals, people saying could be linked to fibroids, or whether that's true or
mm.
not, I don't know. But it's still chemicals in the head that seeps into the bloodstream, so it really can't be that good for
Then
people.
there was
But
another hairstyle though, right? Chemical. You just reminded me of the era. We haven't got a picture, but wasn't there the wet look, the Jerry curl that came a little while
Mm,
after the
yes,
hot one as well?
mm,
yeah,
mm,
yeah,
mm.
yeah. My friends had
Most
the Jerry
people have
curl.
embarrassing pictures from some point back in the day of a failed Jerry curl or a period of rocking the Jerry,
That
from
that
the
reminds
eight.
me.
That's
Did you
eighties.
remember?
That's early eighties though. That's the early eighties, right?
Mm, 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 mm.
Yeah, that reminds
The wet
me. I
look. The
can't
wet
remember
look.
the wet look. That reminds me. There was a film, and I can't remember what it was called. And there was three people that had the Jerry curl, and they
Coming to
got
America.
up.
Coming to America.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Coming to
That's it.
America.
Right.
Mm, 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 mm.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it was all wet at the back because it was just dripping with oil. I mean,
I,
yeah, serious stuff.
I was just thinking that's when those settee back covers really came to their own, didn't they?
There
Fix
you
it
go.
behind you, get it behind you,
Yeah.
because yeah. I didn't go down the wet look route. I did straighten my hair once or twice when I was younger. That's as far as I got. And I think, Sonia, like you said, the heat. I thought, hold on a minute, this isn't right. So I didn't go back down that line again. But yeah, wow, wow, the things we do, eh? The things we do.
There was a gram though. There was on the other side. There was a music. Well, I don't think they didn't call it a music center. They called it a gram. I saw a gram on the side. The
Oh wow, yeah.
some of them had glass. I mean, I can recall the one that my family had. One half was like the music, the radio, and the record deck.
Mm,
And then the other half, we had like a couple decanters in there, a couple glasses, and I don't know if there was a swan or some sort of figurine, or Caribbean people love our figurines and stuff. We had something like that, but that was the heart of the front room. That was the technology. That was what
mm.
made the party come alive or the gatherings come alive. That gram, and it had the B line as well, it had the bass line as well.
See, I grew up in a Christian household, so we never had that. The most we had a little record player that was kept in my mum's room, and
Okay,
all
okay.
you could hear was Jim Reeves and them man there singing every Sunday or something.
You get some.
Yeah, you remember them? You remember Jim
Jim Reeves
Reeves
was
and all them
big in the
man?
thing. Jim Reeves
Oh,
was big in the game. He was big in the
in the
game. Yeah, yeah.
in our community, Jim Reeves and that Western music there. But yeah,
Yeah,
they
kind of
yeah
country
yeah
and western.
kind of
I
yeah
never
yeah.
got it as a kid. I mean, why? But I think he's got that religious. It's got a
Yeah,
kind of gospel undertone to it. But I didn't get it as a kid. I was just like, why are we listening to this? Can't we put Gregory Isaacs on or something
I
like
think
that?
you're right, brother. I think you're right. I think you're right. That's what I recall. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Saying that, do you remember like any of your parents or grandparents playing Pass the Duchy from the left hand side? I think it was called.
Say
Do you
I.
remember that?
Yep. Yep. Mighty Diamonds. I remember that. And then Musical Youth did a cover of that as well, which blew up. Was a monster on the pop charts.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, yeah,
they became
yeah. They came
stars
big.
off that tune. They became absolute stars off of that tune. British in
Mm,
the British pop game.
mm, 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 mm.
I'm gonna say I loved the country and western. Yeah. I'm gonna say I loved it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's all I can remember back in the day was Jim Reeves. Who else was there? There's a few other artists, but Jim Reeves was a big one. And as you said, Hugh, we used to always have, well, not always, we used to have a lot of Christian tunes, if that's the right term
Mm,
to
yeah.
use. And a lot of our parents and the pioneers used to listen to him.
So much sentimental music from that era. It's bringing back memories now. I remember that. What was that one? Percy Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman, and all that. Like them real
Oh
heavy,
yes.
real written songs with some deep lyrical meaning and stuff. Not throwaway music. Records that you play now probably make people stop and tune in because it was like powerful, like really strong messages in the song. It's really
We could
bringing
we
back
could
some memories.
we could do 10 shows on that alone. But sorry, son, you were gonna say something.
Yeah. You just brought a memory back to me. Do you remember they used to have a lot of raves, house raves?
How
And
cool!
be, it
Be
would be
careful, Sonia.
like the black dancers would go.
Yes, be careful,
I said,
Sonia. The good old days, yeah.
I was like, what's going on? But yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Good, like you said, good old days. I wonder if that's a
Good
good
old.
note I wonder if that's a good note to close out on.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Huey, he got
Hold
some more
on,
for
he's
you
got
here.
more. He's got more. He's got more. He's got
Mm,
more.
mm.
He's gone. I saw a piece of furniture that brought back memories. I'm not sure what kind of cabinet we call it, but that was in the dining room, or you'd see them in the dining room in people's houses, kitchen stroke dining room in people's
Mm,
houses.
mm, 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 mm.
They were a must back in the 70s. They were an essential item.
All I remember about these things back in the day was, I don't know if you guys can remember this, but my mum used to put wallpaper on the shelves. So instead of putting your cup directly onto
Oh
the, you used to
yeah.
put wallpaper in there. And I used,
Preservation, right? The
but,
preservation, the
but
ready-made sticky paper or
Huey,
wallpaper or something to
yeah,
protect
yeah,
it.
yeah. And also, on another side note to that, sometimes when they moved into these houses, that furniture was already there and it wasn't in the best condition. So when they put your cup directly onto the surface, they used to cover it with paper,
Mm,
underlay wallpaper, wasn't it? So I
mhm,
do remember
mhm.
that. I do remember that from those cupboards. Yeah. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all your, it's almost like a pantry, wasn't it? A standing pantry in the kitchen, in our house. And I think you said, Huey, earlier how one of the central compartment could almost come down as a table. You could use it as a table.
Yes, yeah, it was like a
Yeah,
shelf. You
yeah,
could
yeah.
cut your bread on it or butter your
Mm,
slice, grab
mm,
two
mm,
digestive biscuit and keep it moving,
mm,
and
mm,
just
mm, mm,
have your
mm,
snacks
mm.
and keep it moving, man. Good
Yeah.
times, good times.
But I must admit, I still do the wallpaper thing now. I don't know I don't know why. It's just stuck with me. I still put the underlay wallpaper on the surface of the kitchen cupboards. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, I've carried that with me.
We take the traditions with us. We take up the
Mm,
traditions with
mm,
us.
mm,
Mm.
And there's a picture frame with a religious statement on the side. There was always something in the Caribbean home um, have to be there. Some sort of religious picture or quote. Or I remember we used to have psalms on the wall in my house. We used to have the
mm,
different psalms like in
mm,
each room.
mm,
In every room there was a psalm and some weird
mm.
superstition of putting 2 pence on or money on top of the door on top of the door architrave um, because it means bread will never cease from your door or some kind of
Oh,
superstitious stuff.
interesting. Oh, I've
Yeah,
not heard that one before, Hugh. Okay, yeah, that's interesting,
back in
man.
the day. Our memories were. I see the picture, I
Mm,
see the quote, and it triggered every room having the psalms, and then my brain started to think about
mm.
the other little traditions in the home as well. Wow, amazing
Th-
times though,
it-
amazing times.
that plaque or whatever you want to call it, because I mentioned before I grew up in the church. Almost every home I went to with my mom had that in it, along with the white Jesus and all those things. The
Yeah,
traits.
yeah.
Every home we went to, because when we didn't go to church, or when we couldn't make it to church on a Saturday because it was probably too cold, even for the paraffin heaters to save the day, we would go to we would go to a church member's house to do for service. And I
Uh-huh,
remember
uh-huh.
every home we went to had those things in the house, guaranteed, guaranteed. As you said earlier, Huey, whoever was seeing those things back in the day made a lot of money from our community, a hell of a lot, because a lot of them had them in the house.
Yes, that oily
Mm-mm.
man he must have retired a rich man,
A
passed on
rich
some
man.
generational wealth, knocking every
Mm-mm.
Caribbean door or every door in the street, but definitely our door because we felt the cold more wicked, right? So can we get
Mm-mm.
a bit extra bit of paraffin because we ain't switching this off until the last thing at night. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Can't sleep with those things on, but yeah, good
Yeah,
times
yeah.
though, good times, good
Good times.
times.
It's been nice. It's been nice visiting these things again, isn't it? Just reminiscing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. I think what I've took from this is special. Oh, sorry, I won't stop. I won't start now. I'll wait till later. Some more for us. What have we got here, Hugh?
Oh, we got the enamel bucket where you wash your clothes in.
Mm,
And that, if I'm not mistaken, that's a bar of carbolic cake or a cake of carbolic soap. That don't matter what kind of grime you got from school, wearing your shirt to school and playing and whatever, the white shirt's got to be
mm,
pristine for Monday
mm,
morning. And so, mommy uses that soap to wash the collar and the cuffs in particular, even if it's still going in the washing machine, just to take that
mm.
that extra boy pickney roughnecks grease off the
Yes,
neck.
the grime. Yes. No,
Yeah, the
I don't
grime,
remember.
the grime. Yeah,
I don't.
before
I don't
grime
remember
was
any of
music.
these. Yeah, before grime was music. Yeah. I don't remember any of these, if I'm honest. What's your thoughts on? Do you remember any of these?
I do remember the bucket.
Mm,
And I
mm,
remember, yeah, my nan washing clothes in there. Um, Back then it was like it would be a dirty thing to take off your underwear and put it in the wash. You had to wash it that night,
mm-hmm,
and hang it up, and that bucket was used for that. So yeah, I do remember that.
Mm.
Yeah.
That is a strong Caribbean tradition, isn't it? Especially for ladies. Like, you don't have a basket that you put undergarments in. That they got to wash immediately. They don't sit
mm-hmm,
there. They don't sit
Yeah.
in a basket with laundry. They got to be washed
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
pronto. Yeah, yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
don't mix up your
All those,
drawers.
yeah, all those things from the tradition, man. All those things part of
Mm-hmm,
that's part of our Caribbean culture, man. Caribbean,
mm-hmm,
that's definitely part of our Caribbean. You know what's funny though, because of the technology, it's not like now with social media where I can understand why so many different things exist on the different islands, the English speaking Caribbean islands. I can understand now because we're all doing FaceTime and TikToks. But it's funny how so many things were similar. Although we might have come from different islands, or you meet people whose parents were from another island, but like they got extremely similar culture and eat more or less exactly the same food, but they just got a different name for the pot it's
mm-hmm,
cooked in, or there's a little nuance, but so much is similar. But we didn't have the technology, so I wonder how we were. Yeah, it makes me wonder about the similarities in terms of identity. Even the West Indian cricket team, it's like a kind of it's unusual, but that's us as a people, the English speaking West Indies. Deep,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
deep, deep. But
mm-hmm.
it's
I
been
do.
really nice going that memory lane, man. It's brought some good memories, man. It's brought some good memories. I don't know if I want to ask you both to leave something, a little takeaway statement. What's it brought up, or what it feels like. Oh, he's got more.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You know something, you before because yeah, before we get on to what we take away, I think that bed cover there is almost identical to the one my mum had on her bed. Now my mum passed when I was 16, and you know what? I've still got that bed cover. It's in the cupboard right in this room here.
I
Um,
hear you, bro.
and she used to have a sheet as well, because back in the day we used to make their own sheets. Do you remember? Did you
Yeah,
have that in your
yeah,
house?
yeah,
Make your own
yeah,
sheets,
yeah,
get some
yeah, yeah,
material,
yeah.
and make your own sheets. Yeah, I've still got a couple of my mum's sheets that she made here as well. So that is a real uh, blast from the past seeing that. That really is. Well done, Josie,
Yeah.
for finding that one. That's a great one. That is, yeah.
No, that's a treasure, man. You have to treasure
Mm,
that.
mm,
You
mm,
know what
mm,
I'm thinking of when I see that? I don't know if Sonia, if you remember these, but this is the era before quilts were trending.
mm, mm,
If I'm not mistaken, that you'd have blankets underneath that because England cold, right? So
mm,
you'd have
mm,
two
mm,
or three big blankets, but the bed would still look pretty because that would be the finish
That'll
of the
be on
clothes
there.
are
Yeah,
on top
yeah,
of
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So the bed looks because Caribbean home, it's got to look, you know,
Yes, yes.
you
Because
know,
as
if
you
you
and
want to
I
go and
all,
play out. You know
yes,
the
because
rule. If you want to go, oh, mom, can I go outside? You're pretty bed for a morning. Like, the room better look presentable
Yes.
before you can go hang out with the guys, kind of thing.
No, I agree. And as you know, those blankets used to get very bubbly, didn't they, after a while? So they did need that spread just to make them look presentable, like you said.
Keep the look.
Yeah, make it look, because once you took that off, you had some tough looking blankets underneath there.
The mattress was struggling. I mean, not the mattress. The blanket could be tired, but as long as that top layer,
you're looking good, aren't you? Yeah, you're looking good. Yeah.
I think the one good thing about the cover is underneath it. The blanket, was the curves around the sides of the bed was folded properly. You could take that first layer off, and that bed was just immaculate. I remember my nan dropping something on it to make sure it bounced, to know that it was pulled tight. And that was the era that she was kind of born into, really. But yeah, no, it was very much like your bed had to be immaculate.
And it's good seeing those things, because for sure they brought that with them from back home. Their parents or their grandmother, that's how they were taught to make their beds, and they brought that
Yeah.
over with them, and they maintain that.
Yes,
So that's
100%.
yeah, that's a good one. That's deep.
I think
deep.
it ties into that thing about like pride and good manners and taking off your hat when you sit at the table, or did you wash your hand, or all these different things that as a kid sometimes they used to annoy the heck out of me, but as an adult I kind of see those things as principles and morals, and it's what give people a backbone and make people like a collective have some standards. They're important things. But I wasn't a fan. I'm going to be honest with you. I wanted to go outside with the yampi in my eye and just play with my friends. It was my parents saying, "Go and wash your face," or chase me back in to do the necessary. I was just a boy child that's wanting to go and climb on the garage next door to my house and play with my friends. But they were there instilling those principles in us.
It's good to see. It's good to see. Definitely. What's the blue things, Huey? What are the blue things? What are we looking at there?
I've forgotten the name of them, but they would go with that enamel basin, if I remember, and the carbolic. If you're washing like white shirts and stuff like that, Mummy would drop that in there, and I don't know how it worked like magic, but it pulled the dirt out. It was part of that, or you'd soak it in that. Drop the blue thing in there, and it would help to keep the shirts pristine.
Was that fizz up? Because it was fizz up in the washing machine and just wash up.
I don't know. It just created some sort of like, it's a type of soap of some sort or whatever. But it seemed to work.
Very popular.
Yeah, Jamaica, they had the blue.
They weren't mothballs, because mothballs were white, right? Those weren't mothballs, were they?
No. They were soap.
You remember mothballs though? Remember mothballs in the drawer?
Yeah.
In Jamaica, they used to have the blue soaps to wash, and it would get your whites really, really clean. So yeah. I think it's similar.
Similar.
I don't know where you get that stuff now.
A good question. Maybe in Wicks or somewhere. I don't know. Was it because it Wicks? What's that place?
That's a funny thing. I'm sure I saw something. I'm sure I saw that blue thing in my mum's house the other day. I don't know where you would buy it. I don't know where to buy it, but she still has it.
Still out there, still going strong.
Yeah. Making me think about that Paraffin man, though, man. I'm gonna. I think that's my takeaway for today. But yeah, as we're coming towards the end, remember to like, share, and subscribe to DehYahSpora-Channel. And if you want to drop us an email on info@DehYahSpora-Channel.com. So what's the takeaway? What is the takeaway, Sonia? What's the takeaway, Trevor? Who wants to go first?
Ladies first. Shall we go with ladies first?
Ladies first.
Takeaway is that, we, as much as when we were younger, we didn't like doing certain things when our parents told us. Actually, they were good hygiene, good ideas that came out that some of us still have today. When you get out your bed, keep your bed clean. Start the day as you go. You make sure you wash your clothes in a certain way, and be healthy. Have healthy vitamins or healthy food, and I think they are really useful advice that we can still continue with.
Yeah.
Definitely,
I think
definitely. What's you, Sarah?
it was interesting looking at those things again. I remember at the top of the show I said a lot of those things there. I was probably too young to remember, but as we went through, more and more things came to mind, and it's just stage points in your life, almost, isn't it? You know, not just your life, but also in your parents' life. You know, and also it gives you an idea about as you're older what life was like, what the decisions they were making, the thought process behind certain things, you know. So it's interesting going back and revisiting these things. And also, when we mentioned music, some things are probably were better then than they are now. All the things that we're being sold and asked to use now, maybe in fact some of the things back then are still viable. Um, so yeah, it was interesting going back in that blast from the past. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. There's a lot more things as you're going through that spring to mind, don't they? And as you're going through.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like the traditional Sunday dinner. You know, the traditional Sunday dinner. Are we still
Mm.
having? Are we still having that traditional Sunday dinner anymore? And those things there. So I think this is probably open up a can of worms that we can delve into as we go down the line.
Interesting. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that. Especially the sound of Sunday dinner, you know? Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. There's been a lot of fun. It just brought one thought to my mind before we close out is that I don't even remember shops hardly even being open on a Sunday selling food, much less where would you buy Caribbean food on a Sunday like back in the 70s? Like who was selling food? Everyone's at home with their family, eating with their family, you know? But
Hugh, I remember.
times
I
change, the
remember.
culture
Yeah,
changed.
I remember now. I still do it now, and I love it. It's the wake up on a Sunday morning. You can smell the peas in the in the pot bubbling away.
Right, right.
You know, that peas just Sunday morning. You know, in a few hours' time, you have a plate of beautiful food, but the peas are bubbling away in the pot with your thyme and your scallion and your whatever else you put in there, bay leaf and whatever flavors you put into to infuse the water with,
Mhm.
and it's just filling the whole house with scent. You know, whether it's your
And
gungo
it's
pea, your
soaking
kidney
from
pea,
the night before. The peas have got to soak
all
from the
be
night before.
yes, yes. That was my job when I was young, was to soak the peas. You know, soak the peas. And
Mhm.
back then, you used to get a lot more grit and dirt in there, so you used to go through and get all the grit and dirt out.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Mm.
but no, I think yeah, this has really started to pull and tug at certain memories that hopefully we can explore further down the line.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? All this talk about food has made me hungry, so we got to finish up so I can go and get my Sunday dinner, my late Sunday dinner. But it's been so much fun, guys. Hope to catch up with you real soon for another edition of DehYahSpora. See you later,
Cheers,
guys.
you. Cheers, Sonia. Take care.
Bye, Sonia. Bye, bye,
Say
Trevor.
it. Bye. Bye.